What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, an interesting video for you here on the channel. Today is when will Bron Breakker win the WWE title? Talking about really just his first title, mostly talking about the World Heavyweight Championship. Just realized you could misinterpret that and think of the Undisputed title, but that's not what we're doing. We're talking about the World Heavyweight Championship. I think you know, I know that we know that there's going to be a timeline and an expiration date on when Bron Breakker will win his first title, and the expiration date actually just jumped up a little higher after taking out Seth Rollins. So today's video is going to be talking about how we could see Bron Breakker win this title, because I think a lot of us thought Bron Breakker was going to win the title right away after somehow, some way, Seth Rollins vacated the title, aka injury. But then looks like it's not going to be that way. So today we're going to talk about, with CM Punk now winning the championship, could we see something with Bron Breakker? What could we see in the future? When will he win? Let's talk about John Cena's final match. I think there is a possibility for this. I don't think it's out of the blue for this. I think they are going to want to stack this card for John Cena's final match, and there's going to be a lot of eyes on this match. Now, here is the thing, though. There's two things that I think WWE wants. They want it to be at a place where there's going to be a lot of eyes. This works. But I think they want this on ESPN. So I don't know if this entirely works. It's also a little too early, in my opinion. I think with CM Punk just winning kind of crazy. But it still sets up Royal Rumble. There's a lot of eyes there, but it's not likely a big enough PLE for the ESPN deal they just had. So I do think that there is going to be a ton of eyes on that. It's still just more than likely, to me, doesn't make too much sense. But I do think that the setup of Royal Rumble could lean to the favor of putting this match on here. Royal Rumble 2026, I think, is a sneaky one. I think it is a big show in Saudi, and I think we obviously all know Saudi's clearly where a lot of the events are going to happen. I do believe that if you're trying to set a Mania season, maybe this isn't as great as a place to go, because I think whoever wins this Rumble, to me, should go after the World Heavyweight Championship. I think Elimination Chamber should be going against for the WWE title to set that up, because there's such a vast story that's still going on. But at the same time, they could just flip some stuff around. So maybe Royal Rumble does make sense. Personally, I believe that there's mainly two places I see Bron Breakker winning at and getting the title at. This is the first one. I think if they are wanting Bron Breakker to enter WrestleMania as champion, this is where you do it. And I think big show on ESPN, and it's in Saudi, which I think is the biggest thing from this, is that I think they're wanting Bron Breakker to look really good in Saudi. Now, could it be him winning the title here or winning the Rumble? That's a big thing that I think is a possibility. But I do believe that winning the Rumble here, you could set up the winner to go against a Bron Breakker who just had a match that night. Or it could be a setup to make Punk win the Chamber, which is in Chicago. Just some thoughts, just some ideas, but I do believe if we're looking at places he should win, this is top two. Elimination Chamber, I don't know why I couldn't say that in 2026. Now I am going to say that this isn't obviously... Wait. This isn't obviously the render for and the picture for it is obviously going to be in Chicago, but hasn't been released yet. I think this is a funny and interesting one, but I sadly don't see it. I think when I'm looking at this, I don't see a world where Breakker wins the championship so close to Mania season. Now, I am going to throw some stuff out there. I don't think it's likely a big enough show. I think Elimination Chamber has proved in the past recently with John Cena's heel turn that they can make it a big enough show if they want to. But I do believe that personally, in seeing that inside, is that right? It's called Inside, right? Yeah. No, wait, is it Inside? I don't even remember. What's the WWE show called? Unreal. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. I believe for Unreal, they kind of showed that Elimination Chamber wasn't a big enough show for them, and that's why they didn't want Kevin Owens to win the title off of Cody Rhodes. And that wasn't a big thing that they wanted. And so for that reason, to make this a last-second curveball, I think it could still happen, but I don't think they'll change the championship. I think personally, if you want to try and set up a triple threat, want to try and set up some insane match, want to throw just something insane that's still shock factor, you get Bron Breakker versus CM Punk to happen in Chicago. Bron Breakker wins. And then maybe a rematch or something with adding someone to the match like an LA Knight to that match happens at Mania. I just really wonder how would they do it, and I don't really know. WrestleMania 42. I know I said the two places where I could see this happening. This is, truthfully, my second place. I think this is the most likely scenario to me. It's a full reset after, so they can go into new routes after this. And it's pretty easy how you get there. First off, let me talk about the future points, and then I'm going to talk about how we get there. I think if you would win at WrestleMania, I think, and I've said this before, WWE has 3 seasons. They have their start of Mania season. They have their middle season where it's the start to SummerSlam. And then they have the post SummerSlam leading into the Royal Rumble into Mania season. So I think right now, obviously we're in that post leading to Mania season. I think going after WrestleMania, which we've seen before with the creation of the Vision, it could easily happen after WrestleMania 42. It would be a full reset. You can have new storylines, new big people involved, and I think it's a pretty good way that you just get people to really be invested and have like the new future and new thing happen. The way you can go about this too, I think, is a Royal Rumble win. I don't think that's shocking to say. Bron Breakker, to me, should be a favorite to win this year's Royal Rumble. I mean, you look at kind of how Saudi shows work. I think Bron Breakker has the perfect thing that WWE would want to show a win in Saudi, aka a person that they think is the future of their industry. So you have Bron Breakker win that Royal Rumble. You have him shot up all the way to WrestleMania against maybe a Punk, and then you beat a Punk there. I think that's where I'm seeing, and that's how I see it happening. My last one, but honestly feels a little too long. I think SummerSlam 2026. Now, I know that it kind of could make sense to go that route, so you have other people holding on to the title before that, but to be honest with you and how they're booking Breakker right now, I feel like as time comes, people are going to give up a little too early. For example, if Bron Breakker just beat the Vision, what do they do next to really solidify that like this was a big thing and he's some new big bad and is replacing Seth Rollins? Have him just coast? I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to be beating down people and winning this championship sooner rather than later. So for me, I think that you could try and throw an LA Knight in there with CM Punk, and LA Knight wins the title and then Bron Breakker wins it. But it's hard for me to see that because I think they're wanting to give it to Bron Breakker. And I think, honestly, Bron Breakker can win it early, like Royal Rumble. It could be Breakker versus LA Knight at WrestleMania. LA Knight can win it there. Breakker can win it after a couple months, maybe at some other PLE. And then SummerSlam could be like a triple threat. Now, I have some SummerSlam predictions, and it does involve LA Knight, but I still want to mention that. This is a little harder, but I still at least want to mention. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.